healthful and fruitful summer vacation with renewed vim and vigor, ready to gird your loins and tackle the many important and vital tasks that lie ahead. Undaunted. Thank you for your help and cooperation in the past and future.
The same message every September. I'm Dee Shafter. I have room 508.
Sylvia Barrett. First time for me.
Our Dr. Clark always gives us her pearls and pears. Aims and goals guide and inspire, help and encourage new horizons and broader vistas.
I'm about to teach my first class.
First ever? You're prepared?
I thought I might begin with first impressions. Importance of appearance, manners, speech, on which I'll build a case for good diction, correct usage, fluent self-expression. From there, it's just a
Are
step.
you sure you've come to the right school?
Calvin Coolidge, room 304.
When I said prepared,
I majored in Middle English literature, 2 courses in the philosophy of education. My master's thesis was on Chaucer.
Well, good luck, Sylvia. If you need anything, just holler. I'm right up there.
Thanks,
I figured you'd studied karate.
Hi, teacher.
Look at her. She's a teacher. Sister Leopold. You Mr. Barringer?
No, I'm Miss Barrett. I'm supposed to have Mr. Barrett. You the teacher?
Yeah. She's cute. Hey, thanks, Gabby, in your class.
Please don't block the doorways. Please come in.
Good afternoon, Miss Barnett.
Miss Barrett. My name is on the board. Good morning.
Oh no, a dame for homeroom. If you want, I can still teach.
Hey, is this homeroom period? Yes, sit down, please. I ain't sure I belong here.
Are we gonna have you all turn? Are you a regular or a sub? There's an insufficiency of chairs.
Any seat at all. Is this what you're doing? No.
Someone's waiting for that. And I have a mess. I need to get her some water.
What? Story? My name is on the board. I can't read your writing.
I'm sorry. No, Luke, you can't. Stop your inconsideration for the teacher, you bums.
Hey, can we sit in the radiator? That's what we did last term.
Hold on, Lawrence. He's trying to say something.
Please sit down. I'd like to begin with teaching avant-garde creative writing. That bell is your signal to come to order. Will you
You
please?
go home. It's the first day of school, and he wants to go home already.
Maybe it's the wrong room. This is room 304. My name is on the board, Miss Barrett. And I'll have you for homeroom all term. And I hope to meet some of you in my English classes. Now, someone said that first impressions were English. No one. Who needs it? You give homeroom? First impressions, they say, are lasting. What do we base our... Yes?
Mr. McKenzie's thrown right away.
Whom does he want?
Joel Ferrone.
Okay. Is Joe Perone here?
Yeah, that's what. He'll show up when he feels like it.
I see. Now, first impressions, they say. Is this true or? Yes, you're late. I'm not late. I'm absent. I was absent. I'll ask her. Okay, well, sit down, please. Or stand up if you feel like it. I can't. I'm dropping now.
Grace, he's in the basement.
Tell him it's urgent. Who are you?
Sorry, Mike. I was in
In what?
the late room. What did you put into the like this when you're late?
Well, fill out your card, please.
Her parents' names makes my aunt.
Put your mother's name.
I've got my mother.
Do the best you can. What is it?
I have a message from Mr. McKay. You're to read it right away.
Class, may I have your attention, please? It seems there's been a change in today's assembly schedule. Listen carefully. Please ignore previous instructions in Circular 3, paragraphs 5 and 6, and follow the following. This morning there will be a long homeroom period, extending into the first half of first period. All X2 sections are to report to assembly the second half of first period. First period classes will begin fourth period. Second period classes will begin fifth period. Third period classes will begin sixth period, and so on. All subject classes being shortened to 23 minutes, except for lunch, which will be normal.
He didn't hear anything you said.
What's today's date?
It's September, it's stupid.
So long. Please, I'm not finished. Tomorrow, all Y2 sections will follow today's schedule for X2 sections, while all X2 sections follow today's schedule for Y2 sections.
Where do we go?
Yeah, what period is this? Would you guys stop throwing that board eraser? Please come over. Excuse me, Miss Freidenberg from guidance. She wants to run my way. He isn't here. Now, if you pass your attendance cards down.
I didn't start yet. I'm waiting for the pen.
Honey,
You do the board race off the window.
will you please sit?
Here's my man. He says it was a bully already.
Who?
McCabe.
Mr. Hayes.
Either way.
Okay, if you please finish your cards while I get started on the roll.
I never got that done.
Any card. You are.
Your fellow teacher, Paul Barry. I teach English in room 309. Sorry to interrupt, but that why you're board erasing?
Sure. No, actually, I'm afraid it's gone. I think you'll get before you, Mr. Manager.
Never mind. Anyway, we got something in common.
What's that?
No erasers.
Okay, I'm going to take attendance. If I mispronounce any of the names, please correct me. Susie Helen.
Oh, she's dropping out.
Oh, yes.
Nobody
Okay.
says no down there.
How can he say that when he's down there?
That's what he says. Any answer?
No answer. Slade Alice, present. You sure? Oh, yes. Blanca Carmelita.
Carol. I changed my name.
Blanca Carol. Here. Gordon. Yes.
This Friday we're on service credit cards from last term.
I'm in the
You need to
middle.
come right away.
I wasn't the last term.
Second, the office wants to know if the transportation cards are ready. Third, fill the file immediately.
Wait, not so fast. The what cards?
Transportation, bus, and subway.
I haven't even taken the attend. Hey, don't tilt your chair that way. Hey, go in the back. I'm talking to you.
So what's the big deal?
Were you hurt?
No, it's just my head.
You better make out an accident report. 3 copies and send them to the nurse.
Why, nurse? What means he? Do you call this a chair? We can sue the whole board of education.
Okay, you better go to the nurse. And ask her for the accident complaint. Is there something else?
You're supposed to do this to your class. It's from the library.
Library. Attention, please. The school library is your library. Students are encouraged to use it at all times. However, the school library will be closed until further notice to enable teachers to use it as a workroom for their PRC entries. Okay, well, we will get back to the attendance. We won't get back to the attendance. What is it?
Your class posted the roads X2 schedule.
I see.
And this is urgent from Mr. McKay.
To all teachers, a blue Pontiac parked in the front of the school has been overturned. It If the following license comes to me, I don't drive.
Under such law, you must miss dentals.
Missing dentals? We'll get back to that later. Now, I'm going to take attendance, and then we're going to go to the
Hooray!
6 months. Wait, not so fast. The bell's much too early. It may be a mistake. Please remain in your
Yes, we
seats.
will. You heard us.
We have so much we have to do. Please sit down.
All the teachers are letting them out.
But we haven't even finished the attendance. The bell rings. We're supposed to go. Where do we go? Please sit down. Everybody, please come back. We have so much we have to do. Hello? Looks like we're the only ones left. You're Alice. Alice Blake. I want you to know how much I enjoyed your lesson. Thank you, but it wasn't really a lesson. There's more. Just one. You're supposed to read this to your class. Please disregard the bell. Students are to remain in their homerooms until the next bell. Thanks. Maybe I should have given you this one first. Maybe. And I thought I might be giving you a course of first impressions. Program cards, requisition slips, transportation cards, service credit cards. In the 2 columns labeled male and female, indicate the number of students in your homeroom section born under the following. What's this? Well, that's no way to hand it to me.
My name is Beth.
There's no need for insolence. And take that toothpick out of your mouth when you speak to me. And take your hands out of your pockets.
Which first?
What's your name?
You report me?
What's your
You
name?
give me 0?
I'm just about. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe what?
For Rome. You gonna send a letter home, take away my lollipop, lecture me, spank me?
All I ask.
Yeah, all you ask.
I don't want anyone to speak to me that way.
So you're lucky. You're a teacher.
So I'm lucky? Hello, room 508, B. Schechter. You said just holler, B, help!
Having fun?
I'm having problems. I don't think I can understand the language. A student called me, hi, teach.
Maybe he liked you. Why not answer, hi, Pew?
I don't think I could ever pull off, hi, Q. And the paperwork. I'm buried underneath an avalanche.
That I can clarify. Let it be a challenge to you means you're stuck with it. Keep on file in numerical order means throw it in the wastebasket. Interpersonal relationships is a fight between kids. Ancillary civic agencies for supportive discipline means call the cops. Literature based on a child's reading level and experiential background means that's all they've got in the book room. Non-academic minded is a delinquent, and it has come to my attention means you're in trouble.
That I believe.
Did you get anything done in the homeroom?
I took attendance, as far as B. A boy fell off his chair, and I forgot to have him salute the flag, which may be illegal.
On assembly days, they salute in the auditorium. What's illegal now is Bible readings.
How about a short silent prayer?
Only if the word prayer isn't mentioned, and if you don't move your lips. And remember, there's no such thing as a permanent pass to the drinking fountain.
What do I do about the PPP?
Almost sings, doesn't it? That's the pupil personality profile invented by Ella Freidenberg, who thinks she's Sigmund Freud. She bases her interview questions on things like, why do you hate your parents?
If I don't ask, how do I find out? Lincoln maladjustments may exhibit themselves in socially unacceptable behaviors in the classroom. This is a crucial period in the development of the adolescents. Please send all new pupils to me for in-depth coverage. However, send the disruptive elements to Mr. McCabe.
Mr. McCabe again?
administrative assistant. He's very strict. I don't know. Maybe he has to be. But try to avoid him. He's in charge of discipline and supplies. He can't bear to part with a rubber band. Ask him for a pencil and he turns white.
To all faculty, diligence, accuracy, and promptness are essential in carrying out all instruction. Teachers with extra time are to report to the office to assist with activities which demand attention. Regarding the requisition of supplies, please anticipate your needs. Do not make excessive demands. Teachers wishing decorative posters, we have a few left. Block letters, blue on white, knowledge is power, and yellow on green, truth is beauty. Also, brown and tan Swiss ups. Slightly torn, but still useful.
Students delinquent in obtaining athletic pursuits are to be upclassed and reported. Teachers be excused from gym are to be sent to me with all pertinent data.
Frances Egan, school nurse.
Please discourage excessive diet.
No books are to be removed from the library until the card catalog has been brought up to date. Librarian?
Charlotte Wolf.
Do not encourage students to purchase paperback editions of Shakespeare and other authors. Because of outside pressures, we should not expose them to insufficiently edited or unexpurgated texts.
Samuel Bester, chairman of the English department. A brilliant teacher. So, naturally, he's promoted right out of the classroom.
Hello there, teachers. Looking forward to the new school year? Easy Terms Confidential Loan Company can solve your problem.
At 18%.
Teachers should function according to instructions. This means hand in, on time.
Sadie Finch, school clerk.
Pupils are to report back to homeroom at 2:56. Dismissal bell ring at 3:05 sharp. This, however, is uncertain.
Send legitimate lateness to blameless coordinator. If excuse is invalid or suspect, send offenders to me. Teachers, please read the list of infractions and penalties to your students to instill in them a sense of civic responsibility. Post in a prominent place at home. A student who is late may fail to graduate.
I have to leave you now. I'm trying to salvage a potential dropout.
The first girl I called today was drafting. Our boozy Helen.
I've got to drop out, Miss Barrett. I've got to work. I'm of age and my income is needed at home.
We should talk about this, Helen. Perhaps there's somebody who can help you solve
Why talk? Most of school's a waste anyhow. Every period, another subject. Algebra, French, Eco, English, one after the other. What good is it?
But if you would just give me a chance to help you solve this
It's
problem.
all a jumble. In every class, the teacher tells you something different. Till you don't know who to believe.
But before you take this step, that's going to affect your whole future, we should at least
Save your breath. I'm better off now.
Miss Barrett,
Yes, Mr. McCabe?
it has come to my attention that you've neglected to fill out Form B-22 exit report of a fall from a chair incurred by a student in your official class. Such negligence may result in serious consequences.
But he wasn't hurt. My real concern is
Before
that
you leave the building today, please make out Form B-22 in triplicate.
Yes, Mr. McCabe.
Thank you. You there, just a minute.
I think you're expecting a little too much, Miss Barrett.
Admiring your penmanship?
Suddenly, my name was unfamiliar to me. I have a strange feeling I didn't even spell it right.
For the school teacher who has everything.
Where do you, sir? Thanks.
The K wasn't around, so I took two.
You'll have to do better, Miss Barrett.
Well, I have a free, unassigned period. I'll be having coffee in the teacher's office.
Maybe if I can give you these locker assignments.
Then I'll see you.
B chapter.
I'm with the child.
Quickly, you haven't told me about Paul Behringer.
The glamour boy of the English department. Unpublished writer. Such men are dangerous. He'll woo you with rhymes. You're on your own.
A moment, Miss Barrett.
What is it?
Was Joe thrown in homeroom this morning? Did he stay till the bell?
He was a little late, but he stayed till the bell.
You're sure? It's important. A valuable wall was stolen from a locker this morning, and I understand Ferone was seen loitering in that vicinity.
Then it could have been Joe, because he was in homeroom.
I see. Was he any trouble? Rude, disruptive, any trouble?
No. No trouble.
If you think it helps to cover for that, then you're very much mistaken.
Unless there's something else, Mr. McCabe, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee.
So look, next time, McCabe, Mr. McCabe. Every year I deal with a lot like you.
Please ascertain the number of students in that headed hot house this morning. Now that the winter's approaching, this is particularly important. Poor nutrition is written cost for marks.
Calvin Coolidge Clarion. Get your copy of the Clarion. Don't miss the Halloween issue just out today. Interviews. A message from our principal. Important advertising.
The corner coffee shop where friend meets friend.
Compliments of the Vanity Corset Company.
Your education has been planned in years to arm and prepare you to function as mature and citizens. I'm sure you will all prove worthy and deserving of our trust and expectations. Signed, Dr. Clark, Principal.
Faculty flashes from the Clarion. The teacher of the girls lived to be on a desert island most with Mr. Paul Poet Behringer. The teacher ready is unselfish helps Mrs. B, Mom, Schaffner. And most glamorous teacher, Miss Sylvia Barrett. She's only been with us since September, but we hope she stays a while. As a special service, your Clarion has inaugurated a lost and found column. First we'll list the lost.
Green plaid jacket, torn lining, broken zipper. Urgent need. Signed, Lou Martin.
Makeup kit, imitation art alligator, Linda Rosen. Hollywood Horoscopes and Stars magazine, reward, Alice Blake.
Lost or stole the left lens from my eyeglass between here and history. Edward Williams, Esquire.
Now they're found. No found. Students, the Clarion is the voice of your school. Please subscribe. As Liz asked to keep it talking.
All teachers' attention. Do not accept Lakewood's excuse due to fire on subway. It has been checked by Mr. McCabe and the Transit Authority. There was no fire on the subway.
Miss Barrett. Mr. McCabe to Miss Barrett. Please note that Joe Ferone has been placed on probation. Truant officers report no such address as the one given. Subject teachers claim he's been cutting classes. Nurse says he's on dental backlist. Lots of luck, Joe.
Watch the baby a moment. I have a letter from my friend Sylvia. We went through college together, now she's teaching in New York. or showering during third period,
I'm automatically erasing the latest graffiti off the blackboard. Even this building seems hostile. Cracked plaster, broken windows, carved up desks, gloomy corridors. I've only been here 2 months, and I'm already in a battle I'll probably lose.
over the boy you mentioned in your last letter?
Joe Throne. Insolent, contemptuous, very bright, but flunking every subject.
Then why fight for that one?
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I said something in his rebelliousness that's like mine, against the same things. Or maybe it's just because he's been so damaged.
You're their teacher. You're not there to fight for them.
I keep thinking about Maddie, the one who was in college with us. Right now, she's at Willowdale Academy, holding seminars of James Joyce under the philosophic maples.
What keeps you from Willowdale? That other teacher, Paul something?
Behringer?
Tell me about him.
All I really know is that he's clever, attractive, but there's something about him that eludes. Eludes? It's hard to say. For one, he always waits for the whole traffic to subside before leaving his classroom. I get the impression he does this to avoid being touched by the kids. And he seems just passing through here, marking time teaching, so he can get published and he can leave.
And you and the girl students find this intriguing.
Devastating. There's a girl in my class, Alice Blake, who is nearly lovesick over the man.
The thing I really like about him
Alice, please.
is that he never sits behind the desk. He either leans against it or he sits on top. And have you noticed that when I was part of the other?
Alice, the subject is Homer's The Odyssey.
I know. Also, the myths and the leaves. But have you ever?
I'm looking forward to the Alice.
Yes, Miss Mary. Well, have you
Have I what?
noticed his eyebrows?
The one that's higher than the... What possible difference does it... Sorry, I can't finish now.
I think it's fall coming. I'll finish the rest of this letter tomorrow.
What's the matter with Alice Blake?
Nothing's the matter with Alice Blake.
Don't bite my head off, especially now, because you're funny and moralized. I found a rhyme for Sylvia Barrett.
Nothing rhymes with Barrett.
14 karat. Why did you insist on leaving after dinner last night? I thought we were having a pretty nice time.
I had papers tomorrow.
No one can take that seriously. You were put off by a bad mood. It was the ladies who judged us. The tone was not only polite, but patronizing. Why do I read something familiar?
Well,
What did the wrong hear about? Calvin Village High School?
at least they couldn't say that you're unfamiliar.
Kids sprawling in classrooms, yelling at assembly, pushing through halls.
That's just the surface, Paul. If you get closer...
Do you get close?
I'm trying to, but I haven't even found what to call them yet. Teenagers, youngsters, kids, young adults. All those expressions seem stilted, inappropriate, offensive even.
Let it go up a cute little. Sylvia, I've started a new novel. This one's going to make it. Let's have a cup of coffee later. I'll tell you about it.
Sure, Paul.
A big subject. The nuclear physicist. He's marooned out the peninsula in Kamchatka.
I've researched Kamchatka. It's on the far eastern end of Russia, opposite Japan. Maybe he knows all about his sister. Maybe he reaches Calvin Village High via the Trans-Siberian Railroad.
More likely the subway.
Are you reaching the students?
No. But there was a beautiful moment yesterday. For the first time, I was finally able to excite my students with an discussion. Aspiration versus reality. Is it wise to aim higher than one's capacity? Does it doom one to failure? And hope. What about hope? Yes, Mr. Rickey?
Can't you keep your class in order?
They're in order.
Then what's the meaning of this?
The meaning of what?
All this noise?
This noise, Mr. Rickey? That's the sound of thinking.
There'll be a series of 3 bells, each rung 3 times, indicating shelter. Loud discussions do not encourage the orderly evacuation of the class.
Well, I suppose he has his issues too.
But keeping order is going to be the important thing. Enthusiasm is frowned upon because it gets too noisy. I don't know if I'm reaching them at all. Perhaps other teachers are more successful.
They challenged you.
How do other teachers? Class, can you tell me what you've gotten out of English so far?
During my many years of frequenting education, I am well satisfied with my instruction, and I hope to achieve further progress within my chosen place of study. With that being said, I would love to tell you about my future. I plan on going to stop.
What I got out of this energy and books, but having boys in class distracts me from my English. Better luck next time.
I hope this term will be good with you, because you seem to be alive, but that's too early to tell. Being you're so new, you should remain guarded by my teachers. Not by them, you don't bother me.
Edward?
Edward Williams, Esquire. All my teachers call me because I'm black. I prefer a teacher to really tell me I'm no good English and give me dirty looks in the halls.
What I learned in English is doodling. It's such a boring subject. I spend a lot of time doodling.
Because I want to talk with cultured people. At a party, how would you like it? If someone mentioned a Greek god and you didn't know him, you'd be embarrassed. A kaleidoscope, a crazy quilt, an ever-shifting pattern. Shapes that come and go, leaving no echo behind. Such is my remembrance of lost and vanished hours of English, from whence I rise, all creativity stifled, yet a phoenix of hope reborn. Will it be different this term? The question, poised in the sphere of time, is still unanswered. I was supposed to be in Mrs. Schachter's creative writing class, but because of the conflict, I couldn't get in.
I'm sorry about that. Now, let's go off of what Rachel said. A more specific question. Why are we studying myths? The Odyssey?
What good is integration if we still get higher assignments?
We study myths to learn what it's like to live in the golden age without the killings.
If it wasn't for myths, where would Shakespeare be today? We study myths because they're about love.
To me, the Odyssey is another Ethan Frome or Silas Marner. Wants to hear about someone's troubles.
Everyone has to read them, and it's our turn.
Myths help us gain tolerance for others, even if they don't deserve it.
Will you read it? Because it's a classical. In my opinion, I hated the Odyssey. Homer is a lousy writer.
Why do you ask these questions? What are you trying to prove? No one in the school gives a damn about us, and it's the same at home in the street outside. You probably don't care for the language, so give me a 0 in vocabulary. Anyhow, I'm quitting at the end of this term. Joining the dog-eat-dogs in the lousy world you're educating us for. But don't worry. You'll still find plenty of room to play a little game of ba-ba, little lambs trot and step, eat a nice clean home served down there. I trust this answers your wish.
You express yourself vividly, Joe. And your metaphors, from dogs to lambs, are apt. I'd give you higher markings than you give yourself. Before you decide to quit, could you see me after school? There's so much I just wish I could convey.
I understand the big words, Teach. Besides, I'm busy after school, every day. Just prove yourself on your own time.
First time you've ever been early.
I missed the class before this because we came.
Mr. McCabe.
Instead of getting this.
Please admit Baird to class. He was detained by me for going up the down staircase and subsequent insolence. J.J. McCabe.
Look at that.
Did you do your homework? Why not?
I didn't do it.
Why?
I just didn't.
You know, one day you'll have to prove yourself, Joe. There's so much you're not using. You could
I'm
totally...
supposed to accelerate my own speed. I'm supposed to compete with myself. Guess I'm not so hot.
I happen to know your IQ, and it's pretty hot. Now, class, we have a test today, so please hurry along and turn in your homework.
Somebody stole my homework. Just like this, I fell asleep on the subway, so I didn't get to my homework. And when I stopped at my station, I ran right through the doors not to be late, and left my homework on the subway.
As I was taking down the assignment, my ballpoint stopped.
I just studied French, so I didn't have time for English. My brother took my homework instead of his homework.
What homework? I hate to tell you this. Carol Beverly, another win on my homework.
All right, Lenny, that makes it unanimous. Not quite unanimous, thank you.
Why so many tests? Teach.
I learned your name, Carol. Why can't you learn mine?
You see every day. I read it normal.
Protocol, dum-dums. You're the teach, so why don't we call you Teach?
This doesn't seem to be part of your homework, Alex. You didn't read it.
Read what?
Hey, everybody stay down. Hey, back here. Hey, everybody sit down. If you want your privacy respected, you will respect it in others. Honesty. Miss Barrett. Put it away. You are not to open your test booklets until I say start. But before we start, please pay attention to this directive. The fact that Thanksgiving falls when it does this year is causing difficulties in midterm examination schedules. Since there will be no final exam, midterm marks will count as 2/3 of the final mark. Students are to place on the floor all books, notebooks, and personal possessions. The proctor will approach the student after desk to answer questions. No questions are to be answered by the proctor. If a student desires to go to the laboratory, the proctor will escort them to the door, and someone in the hall proctor will escort them to the laboratory. Male teachers will escort boys, female teachers will escort girls. Students must understand the significance of high ethical standards. His voice, the way his eyebrow goes up, how to describe the emotion? If I could die for you, Paul, like the Lady of Shalott you read to us about, floating dead on the river under his window, and Lancelot, never knowing, saying only, she has a lovely face, the Lady of Shalott. In my bed at night, I pray to the ceiling, please make him love me, or notice me in class where I sit. Make him take me in his full throbbing embrace. When I stare at the cracks in the ceiling and how ugly everything is, I think it's unreal. My house and my parents. Real life is somewhere else. Moonlit terraces, tropic gardens, foreign cities, darkening woods. All right, class. Ready? Begin. Oh, get on with it. You too, Alice.
Sylvia, hi. I see you have your test underway. What do you think about when they take a test?
I think about, I should be thinking about this pile of due forgery memos.
Are you on to the official gobbledygook yet? Can you translate the following? Illustrative material.
Magazine covers.
Enriched curriculum.
Teaching who and who.
Right again. What about all evaluation of students should be predicated upon initial goals and grade level expectations.
It means if the boy shows up, pass him.
You're coming along fast.
Hey, Barrett.
Yes, Joe?
Excuse me.
We're in the middle of the test. Please continue.
Hey, let's answer question 4. Shh.
No talking.
Barrett.
Please do the best you can. Finish the test.
I want to go to the bathroom.
Couldn't you wait till
No.
after?
Careful, Sylvia.
You have to be escorted.
So get an escort.
Keep your eyes on your paper. I don't see a proctor. Paul Proctor.
I'll just be a few minutes.
There is no proctor.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to trust you. Do I have your word you won't get help or look up the answers?
Sure you teach.
Does showing disrespect make you feel better, Joe? More important, a bigger man?
Nobody's questions.
Don't waste time. Just do your paper, Charles.
Hey, I'm not cheating. I'm left-handed.
Said 5 minutes ago.
Okay. I'll do what I can do. Whatever you say.
I shouldn't have let him go.
Probably not.
I can't take the system so seriously. Have you seen these absurdities? Lateness due to absence, high underachiever, polio consent slips?
I can match yours any day. Please disregard the following.
All teachers, please send in those students who have left the building to Mr. McCabe.
How do we send them if they've left the building?
It'll be a challenge.
I'm forced to revoke your lessons on mythology. Your students create havoc. They have no respect for the printed page. And 2 of them took books out, shall we say, indiscriminately.
Wow, what a better way to show respect.
Not only that, but they misplaced the golden age of Greece and put Bullfinch on the zoology shelf.
Miss Barrett, I plan to observe your class soon.
I see. Oh, Mr. Resser, the book room only has 11 copies of Romeo and Juliet.
Use Ivanhoe. I have 160 Ivanhoes.
I have some useful material for you, Miss Barrett. A few more personality profiles. Lou Martin exhibits converted hostility and manic behavior patterns. Eddie Williams was paranoid due to socioeconomic environmental factors.
And what am I supposed to do with that information?
My biggest concern is Joe Ferrone, a dangerous situation, explosive. It is imperative to channel this libido aggressive impulses to socially acceptable attitudes.
How do you suggest I do that?
My first
Diet
suggestion
and nutrition. Make sure it's a hot breakfast.
I'm not his mother.
stay out of this. He cuts classes, disrupts others. Every stairway is clearly marked. An up stairway or a down stairway. He always goes opposite. You'll have to do something.
Miss Barrett, will you come here, please?
Concentrate on your papers. What is it?
How dare you?
How dare I what?
Let him out of the room unescorted.
He had to go.
Unescorted?
There was no proctor.
You should have waited.
The situation did not warrant waiting.
His exam paper made me evaluate.
Why?
He may have been looking up answers.
He told me he wouldn't.
He told you.
Yes,
And you believed him?
I believe him.
Bet you see him, Matt.
I believe him.
Girl in the fourth seat. Eyes on your paper. Leave him here, please.
Sure, Mr. Wood.
I don't think you wait to grab your position. You had explicit instructions. You disobeyed them. When Throne finishes, put his paper on your desk.
He didn't cheat.
They don't need your power. They need discipline. We have to punish them. Punish them for every infraction. Because if we don't, they'll get a later from a cop or a judge. Ever been to a juvenile court? Sure, we have to win their respect, but that only comes with strict enforcement. And there's a strong possibility your entry rate will be unsatisfactory. Keep track of that.
When the bell sounds, please bring your examination papers to my desk.
I finish early, Miss Barrett, and actually, I do write on it sometimes.
All right, well.
I know what it is, Barrett.
I'm sure you did, Lou. I accept my homework papers. Thank you for us. Oh, the hard test is fair. That's not your fault.
Here's mine, Barrett.
Now you have to mark that. Such a long day for you, Teach. Miss Barrett. It's gonna be fun.
If it were up to me, I'd say you're very satisfactory.
Oh my goodness.
Big mouth.
You had us very well prepared. Thank you.
Maybe Homer says less, but you say so, I'll give you a try.
It's optional.
No, I'll see.
You may fool them, but you don't fool me. You're informed than the others being a damn you know how. Pretending you give a damn. Don't leave with your kid.
Anything else, Joe?
Nothing else. Nothing. Too bad I can't meet you, that's all.
It's from Sylvia.
She's beginning to think she isn't communicating with anyone.
Well, you better start communicating with Maddie.
How are you going to answer her letter about the February vacancy at Willowdale? Tell me about Willowdale.
Well, it's a small suburban college. Pleasant, cozy. Maddie writes, they have trees in the windows and sit in leather chairs and sip coffee.
Miss Barrett,
Yes, Dr. Clark?
it has come to my attention that due to laxness on your part, one of our students is under suspicion of cheating. This can have a demoralizing and corrupting effect, and I find your actions upsetting and disturbing.
Yes, Dr. Clark.
Incidentally, and looking at your record, I see a note from the payroll department about a salary overpayment of $2.75 for last week. This overpayment should have been taken care of long ago.
I wasn't even here, Jim. I wasn't even here until Sylvia.
Is there any reason for not applying to Willowdale?
No reason, except what? Except I like teaching high school kids. I chose to teach here. Nobody forced me. It was my choice. And in spite of everything, I have just got to keep trying. Sit down. You wrote a letter to Mr. Behringer? You have to go get it. I mean, any minute. I can't do that. It's in room 309. I set it on his desk. There's no one around, so I set it on his desk. Then go to room 309 and get it. I'm afraid. Suppose he's there. Suppose he's read it. How can I face him? What was in the letter? It was a terrible mistake. Then go get it. Just go. I can't.
There you are. I received your letter.
Yes,
I'd like to speak to you about this letter.
you do.
I want to see you privately.
See me privately?
Excuse me, please.
Yes, mister. You want to talk about my letter?
And make a few corrections.
Corrections.
Use a series of dots instead of punctuation. Let's see. Dear Mr. Barringer, last Sunday I took the subway to your stop in Sarkana. Having looked it up on your time card, ... I hope you don't mind this presumption. That's misspelled. I walked back and forth across the street from your house, answered comma, back and forth, answered comma, and my heart was throbbing with love I bear. Throbbing is a cliche. I think about you all the time, ... I pray to be worthy. And if you ever need me to for you, I will gladly do so. ... I feel so deeply the truth and beauty, cliches, no need to capitalize. But I have to speak out this love I feel. ... There's some repetitions here and a change of tense, along with
What did you do?
I handled her letter the only possible way,
How?
as composition.
Oh no.
Yes. What is a neurotic adolescent so about love?
Probably much more than you know about a nuclear physicist marooned on a peninsula in Kamchatka. I understand that there may be a vacancy at Willowdale Academy in February, and it is under this connection that I'm writing to you. I hold a license in English in the New York City.
Ophelia! Do you know what the commotion is about outside?
What commotion?
Something's going on.
Miss Barrett, have you seen Mr. Behringer? He's needed right away. He just left a moment ago. Where to? No idea. If he comes back, tell him to come to office immediately. I don't expect to see him. A license in English in the New York City secondary schools. And I'm at present teaching at Calvin Boyd High.
Please come down to help Dr. Alice Lake. Do you have anything else to put them all out?
No, I don't. I started to bed.
Students and teachers will remain in their classrooms disregarding the bells. Lessons are to proceed as usual with no reference to the incident. Teachers are to discourage morbid curiosity.
What incident? Mr. McCabe, what happened?
Such behavior is completely atypical for a girl with such a stable personality profile. But there are factors beyond her control.
The office needs you to fill out this emergency form.
I know nothing about an emergency.
Here, check one. Parent or guardian reached, not reached, by telephone or by telegraph. Opposite parent or guardian of fill in Alice Blake. Then after we regret to inform you, fill in.
Fill in what? Please tell me.
Didn't you hear?
But is that the police?
Or I will pay an ambulance to take Alice Blake to the hospital. She fell out of the window. Okay, the office needs you to fill out this form. I have noted and observed that in assembly, the number of our students seem uncertain to the words of our alma mater. The purple foster and encourage a more appropriate school spirit and public image. The words to the first statements are as follows. Ye loyal sons and daughters, whose hearts will never grow old, as long as ye are true to the purple and gold. Thank you.
Thank you, that was on everything. If they're going to sing the Almighty, sing it correctly.
Look at that.
What? Suggestion boxes. Miss Barrett's installed suggestion boxes.
She's asking for it.
It's almost the end of term. Why start innovations now?
She's getting late. She's a masochist.
That's a high school teacher who set up a suggestion box.
Teachers are always telling us what's wrong with us. But what about the other way around? I wish they all had suggestion boxes. Boy, would I love to tell someone that off. But you're not too bad for a teacher, Miss Barrett. And you told us that we had to encourage our convictions and sign our name, but we don't have to, so I'm not going
Not enough boys and too many girls. But that's not your fault. Also, some schools, they have dancing in the cafeterias, and they put on different things. Why not? We live once. Cindy Rosen.
Abolish prejudice. Abolish Miss Brighter's interviews. They make me sick. When she asks, am I ashamed where I live? I'm ruined this best way.
I don't like the way you dress. Too loud for a teacher. You should tone it down. In your little bark. Sign. Hermie.
Teachers are ruining America. This is the last time I'm printing to you. Signed, the Hall.
I mean, I guess you understand us not being too old yourself. Too bad you're a teacher and pretty like my sister. Because I wish you were plain person. Then we could be close. Vivian Payne.
The way you read is too emotive. And you have pets like Joe Ferrone. He must be your pet because he gives you so much trouble. Signed, Neglected.
You're a good teacher. Except for the rotten books you teach, like the Odyssey. I wouldn't give it to a dog to read. Signed, Disgusted.
Is it okay if I start collecting money from my own kids to send flowers to Alice Blake to the hospital? The thing is, we always used to sit by each other. How about that?
On Mondays, what do you think we are? Orators? Signed, Mark Anthony. It is my considered opinion you are very well qualified. No matter how boring the lesson, you always seem to make it interesting. I suggest you continue with your work. Signed, Harry up the slums before we go to Mars and stop the bomb before it's too late. And as far as school, there couldn't be any without us. And no futures.
Please tell the murder to quit showing off. He thinks he's so comic. Well, I don't. Signed, serious student.
Don't worry, Miss Barrett. We're behind you. 65%.
Thank you for showing me that there's something more important than communication. But with so many other students, I feel we're both wasted. Elizabeth Ellis.
I'm not a good penman, but I must tell someone. I mean, I'd like someone to know. I'm putting this in the suggestion box for the record. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday. Signed.
You've written something brilliant again?
A period of esocound in many campus, which I translate to be about dedicated college. Is you back today?
Yes.
Where'd you go yesterday?
I haven't spoken to her yet.
little excited that a student really cares to read?
You sound like Sylvia. I used to get excited. But with no help, no books, and constant demands, all I care about now is some shred of my library to survive.
And right now you need 49 cents?
Right now, I'm caught up in trying to uphold rules I didn't make. But if paying the 49 cents would make you feel better.
I wish it were that easy.
I remember what you said in the teacher's lounge. Getting involved does them no good. Swab kid, amused detachment, you said. That's the only way to remain intact.
I don't think it's possible to teach and also remain intact.
Make up your mind.
As Ella Frydenberg would say, I have a problem.
But you're working on it.
All I really care about is maintaining my amused attachment.
Come on, Paul.
I have another parody for you. Gray's algebra. The school bell tolls the knell of starting day. Ah, but do not ask for whom it tolls. I see the students stairwards pushing their screaming way. I know, alas, it tolls for thee and me.
That's very clever.
I have some other ones here, also very clever. When I didn't see you the other day, I was afraid you left us. Well, you're back.
I think he's a little more upset than he shows.
Perhaps. I couldn't even talk to Alice. She wasn't having visitors. That's what I hear.
Miss Barrett, why are you neglecting to turn in your attendance sheets for today?
Because Lydia Rosen wore a pink sweater and fuchsia stretch pants at school. She was seen by Mr. McCabe, who had her cool her heels in the office. She was also seen by the boys in my homeroom, who migrated en masse to her vicinity. I'll take attendance later, unless they fell like lemmings into the sea and are all drowned.
On for Mr. McCabe.
She had only one thing to say about Alice's accident. Turn in before 3. Lock her number and book receipt for Lake Alice. McCabe tells us to keep our public image intact and our students in their seats. Dr. Clark urges us to be aware of our responsibility in a democracy.
What else can they say?
I don't know. Some indication that they care about the girl? Are we supposed to be uninvolved?
There's nothing Amos could have done for Alice. She was having a really rough time inside.
How do you know?
When she came to be beaten by Blue,
Beaten? Well, what did you do?
I gave her the tea.
He? Why he?
What else could I do? I know more than anyone else here about what goes on outside. Poverty, disease, malnutrition. Yet I'm not even supposed to give them a Band-Aid.
But that's...
Isn't it? It's clean. Bang on my desk, talk myself over to argue with kids, parents, welfare administrations, social agencies. Nobody even heard me. So hand out cups of tea.
But you're a nurse.
great poems into newspaper headlines.
Such as,
Midnight rider born to fall. Seaman, guilty of shooting bird.
Wife Talazal in Portuguese love letters.
Not bad. Man reports talking raven.
Maybe I can stay away.
Where were you?
I have a feeling my engine rating is going to be a big fat here.
No one is rated unsatisfactory unless certified loony.
That's not entirely true, Mr. Schachter. Regarding your requisition, Ms. Barrett, we are all out of orders. All out of red pencils. Our order for window pulls was sent to the board last spring. We must be patient. There's been an epidemic of chalk. Please keep chalk under lock except within use. However, we have some leftover posters. Yellow on green, truth is beauty. Black on white, learning equals earning.
Thank you, but what I really need
We must
to
be patient. Furthermore, a frivolous attitude and levity of tone towards attendance taking are unsuitable to the high seriousness of our profession.
I'll try to cut it back on the levity, Mr. McCabe. Have you gotten a chance yet to look at Joe Crone's examination paper?
Of course. So did Mr. Bester.
I've been waiting to hear. And I dare say Joe Crone has too.
His mark was 86.
Any evidence of cheating?
You'd have heard.
So, no evidence of cheating.
That's right.
Shouldn't something be said? If not to me, at least to Joe Crone.
He shouldn't have been let out of the room unescorted. He knew it and you knew it. The fact that he didn't cheat,
Should be noted,
to what purpose?
no one lets feel unsatisfactory.
If you're concerned about getting a U,
I'm concerned about so many things, Mr. McCabe.
and you think you can handle the Joe Frones, you try running school for one day. You'll have a ride in every class.
All I'm asking. Some strong things were said. And now we know he did well. And since it was entirely on his own,
This time.
I'd like there to be a next time.
We'll always have more than we can handle. We have to be realistic. You weren't here yesterday.
I was at Willowdale Academy being interviewed for a possible February job.
I see.
I was being realistic.
Yes. Yes, of course.
You've upset him.
McCabe?
He's upset.
Not McCabe. Never.
Sylvia, I don't find him inspirational either. But remember, his pupil load is over 3,000.
It's such a different world at Willowdale.
You mean nobody shouts hi, teach?
I mean, I'd only have 3 classes a day. 3 days a week. The other 2 days for conferences. I might even give a seminar on Chaucer.
If that's what you want.
I want to practice my profession, that's all. I want to be like Chaucer's clerk of Oxford. Gladly would he work, and gladly teach.
Why do you think your students picked on the substitute yesterday?
Ask McCabe.
You know what? Ask yourself. I have to get back.
Anything else happening here while I was gone?
Life was happening.
Have no fear, Miss Barrett. We're behind you 85%.
My mother's been living with me for 16 years. But she still insists on cross-examining. Please talk to her. Signed, Linda.
I know school is supposed to help me with life, but so far, it didn't. Robin.
Tell us more about your own life. It makes you feel very human. I'm really miserable at home and never in English. That's why I have this ambition to be an English teacher. Signed, your friend, Vivian.
Teachers get tested for spite and to get even. You said we should sign our name. Sign anonymous.
When you call me to answer, don't call me when I don't know the answer. It makes me look dumb. You always call me the others when they know the answer. Say, Edward Williams, Esquire.
You have one of the best sense of humors I ever met. You make the lessons laughable. Carol.
Thank you for showing me that writing really means thinking. Elizabeth.
Will you marry me? This is positively the last time I'm going to. Signed, Bill Hall. I enjoy the way that your tone of voice makes poetry sound, and changing from happiness to sadness, depending on the poem. I went to the library looking for more Robert Frost, but it was closed.
You never call on me. And if you do, it's very seldom. Jill.
I wish to commend you on taking an interest in mine and the class as a whole grammar. Signed, Harry Anthony King.
Cafeteria lunches are awesome. You're in it.
I'm no one special, so no one really knows me. But maybe if I drop out and get a job, I'll be someone with a job. Signed, me.
Give me one good reason why I should stay in school. Signed, Joe Foote.
I can give you many good reasons.
And able to Kate dishes out.
It's time we talk about this, Joe. Stay after school, and
What's
we
it?
can figure. I'm beginning to wonder. But for the time being, let's just say it's my job.
If I didn't know any better, you'd even convince me. Same for the sheep.
Joe, about our talk.
Miss Bear,
Oh?
I'm slipping this into the suggestion box as the most likely place to catch your attention.
You got it.
There's rumor you're leaving at the end of the term. Why on earth?
Let's just say I couldn't find the proper response to hi, teach.
I wish you'd reconsider.
Why?
Because if you leave, who else would be there giving ghastly, honest literary criticism?
Are you sure you want criticism?
No, but just the same, you're needed here. You're a catalyst, spokesman, infighter. Besides, you laugh good, like English teachers should. I'm not saying this to get a higher mark. Signed, Paul.
Paul invited me to the end of the term party, but I just couldn't go. I mean, how could I celebrate with a man who corrects a love letter?
You're leaving for Willow soon anyway, so what's the difference? The term ends this week, and there's so much more I wanted to do.
Such as have a little talk with the frown boy and turn into a model student.
It's not a question of a model student. Besides, I wouldn't want him to be that. I support Terry Kagan's model student, and he's also a stuffed shirt. I don't know. There's so much more to know. But I just can't seem to make a difference in it. And that's why I want to teach. That's why the one and only compensation, to make a permanent difference in the life of a child.
In your first letter, you quote a kid
Miss Barrett, I'd like to speak to you.
I have to go. I'll write as soon as I can. Don't forget. Yes, Mr. Lester?
I have some unofficial comments on your teaching. Not those that I'll appear in my formal observation report.
I see.
The lesson I observed was an interesting one. Was there a particular reason for choosing Robert Roth's The Road Not Taken?
I wanted to lead them into a discussion of blazing a trail versus conformity, and to regret inherent in any decision.
Certainly a little bit.
Mr. Lester?
My comments follow. Ask your question first, then call the student by name. Thus, you engage the whole class in thinking. Avoid vague or loaded questions. How do we feel about this poem? Vague. Do we regret what we haven't done? The teacher obviously expects yes.
I see.
The boy next to me was doing his math. A teacher should move about the room. A meeting correction of English was effective, but she missed. He should have took the road. On this here road, and he couldn't make up his mind.
Couldn't.
I like the way you handled the hostile one who came in. The one with the toothpick in his mouth. You made him feel the class missed his contribution. But you should have made him remove the toothpick.
I've been fighting a losing battle with that toothpick.
Well, win it. And don't let a few students monopolize the discussion. Call on the non-volunteers. I'm not sure you're putting your energy where it's most needed.
Sir?
The cream will probably rise to the top anyway. Where help is most needed in despair is with the skim milk.
I appreciate your criticism, Mr. Lester.
The lesson I observed was a fruitful discussion of choices. What really concerns me is your choice. But I see you have a class. My formal report will follow.
Before we get to Macbeth, I read some creative writing. I saw him scuttling like a crook, making his fearful way stealthy among the dirty dishes crusted with grease, bearing food to the secret sons behind the draining board. How fearful were his eyes. Shall I kill him? Miss Barrett, is it clear writing about a cockroach? Crystal. But the subject is Macbeth. You start speaking. I'd like to hear from some others. Do you have your homework on Macbeth? Ooh, Carrie, I've been waiting all turn for you to raise your hand. What's your question? Do you wear contacts? Only when I read Macbeth. Have you read it for today? Not all the way. I mean, you did it. Let's start at the beginning.
Right. The way I see it is from Macbeth.
The title is called
The title is. Did you read it last term in English?
I never read it before.
I never read it.
Yeah, me neither. In the book, the author's ethics
Depicts.
is murder.
You were discussing the theme, not the plot. What's the difference? Linda? Plot is what they do. The theme is how. Not exactly. Vivian? Theme is what's behind it. Behind what? The plot.
Mrs. Macbeth, nudges him.
You mean nudges?
Nudges. Being a female, she spurs him on.
Edward.
Edward Williams, Esquire.
Esquire.
Demons, he kills them for his own good.
Jose.
Me?
Yes, you. Well, Jose?
I didn't have my hand up.
But I'm calling on you.
My name is Barrett.
Did you read it, Jose?
Yes, but
So, what would you say is the theme?
I didn't volunteer.
We all like your opinion.
Well, if you ask me,
The art is time hearing.
If you want, please, mine.
I've asked Jose. Jose?
The author tries to say,
He tries. Doesn't he succeed?
tries to show,
He shows.
shows you mustn't be ambitious.
Does he say ambition is bad?
Yes, very good.
Jose. Is it good to be ambitious?
Yes, but not too
Not too what?
ambitious is not so good.
So you mean excessive ambition?
It leads to big trouble. That's the theme.
That's right. You're right, Jose.
This is right.
Yes.
I figure out the theme, right?
I've been calling you more often.
Why not?
I could have told you.
Saved by the bell. Out with you. Anytime I have something to say from the bathroom, and treat it into short class.
Jose, the brain.
You don't have it. Anytime you know about themes.
The real villain, Mrs. McCrath.
I was thinking about about witches, right? Yeah, I get it wrong.
Bubble, bubble, total trouble.
What do they know about toilet trouble?
Remember when she shouts, out, damn spot? If she gets her mouth
The Belgium, school's out.
I heard.
Is there something?
You kept asking me to stay for a talk. Okay, I stayed. Ran. How about that?
I see.
What do you want to ask? Let's go, let's have it.
I've been looking over your record, Joe, and I'm struck by the discrepancy between your capacity and your
Would
achievement.
you mind putting that in?
English? How about, I don't understand the big words, teach. You can keep asking me to repeat myself. You can drop some books. You can
Okay!
This is important, Joe, to both of
My
us.
discrepancies?
Your capacity.
What's it to you? Why should you care?
I do.
Heard that before.
Come back the next term. Don't drop out. Joe, listen.
Are you listening?
I'm trying to.
Will you be here?
Joe,
That's a straight question.
Then I have to say no.
No, what?
No, I won't be here.
You won't be here. See. Thanks anyway.
That doesn't mean
You
that
finished
you
your
can't.
talk, Miss Barrett. What makes you think you're so special?
Sylvia, are you all right?
I remember the first time I was able to excite my students with an idea. It was a lesson on groundings. A man's reach should exceed his grasp, and what's ahead and forward. It made me feel special.
Are you reaching for something?
I'm falling flat on my face.
What's happened?
How do you stand up?
You're serious?
Yes.
Walk through the halls. Listen at the classroom doors. In one, a lecture on the nature of Greek tragedy. In another, a drill on who and whom. In another, a hum of voices intoning French conjugations. In another, silence. A math quiz.
Yes, but
Whatever the waste, stupidity, ineptitude, whatever the problems and frustrations, something exciting is going on. In all of the classrooms, all at the same time, education is going on. Young people exposed to education. That's how I managed to stand up.
and I dropped out.
Don't be silly. You do what you feel is best.
For the first time, I've been seeing myself through the eyes of others.
Whose eyes?
Through one
Joe Ferrone.
Get past the words, Sylvia. Get to what they're really saying. I have to go. Another salvage problem.
Thanks.
Get to what they're really saying.
I'm not sure if you've noticed this, Barrett, but I've decided to dress more conservative. And since coming to you, I only wear eyelashes on dates.
When I turn 17, my dad says, why should it be an extra medal? That's me. What I'm trying to say, Miss Barrett, is I hope I come back.
You helped me awaken me a liking for school, which I previously lacked. If Alice were back in front of me, she would sign her name too. So I'll sign for her. Carol and Alice.
English will be better off with more teachers like you, who take an interest, and instead of just teaching you your circumstances. I'll never forget you as long as I live. You made me feel I am real. I used to sign me, but not anymore. Jose Rodriguez.
Miss Barrett, what makes you think you're so special? Are you listening? What I said, what I'm saying you're so special. You're my teacher, so teach me! Help me! Barrett, which way do I go? I'm tired of going up and down the staircase.
Attention, please. This is your principal, Dr. Cluckney. I wish to take this opportunity on the first morning of the first day of February term to extend a warm welcome to all faculty and staff with the sincere and earnest hope that we can move forward and onward together.
Hey, she's back. Guys, we got Barrett.
Don't think good about this today.
Just be with us, eh?
That's right. Please take your seats. What's the day?
It's Barrett, we're on. Happy to recontinue, sir.
I'm not late, the bell's early.
You'll all have to fill out new attendance cards. Who's got a pen? I hope we get a lot of new kids this term.
There's not enough seats.
Disregard previous notice for disregarding the bells, please.
The school library is your library. However, the library will be closed until further notice.
Hey,
The window's still open.
we have to be patient. Now, if you'll pass these cards, I hope we have you for creative writing this term.
All members of faculty are emphasize the importance of mentorship.
Personality profiles. In depth, please.
I'm glad you're back. It's been the part, not now.
Thank you. Now, yes?
I have a message from Mr. McCabe. Could you read it right away?
Not till I take attendance.
McCabe says,
Mr. McCabe,
right away.
after attendance. Good morning, Robin. Why are you late?
I am not late. I had my English changed. I wanted you.
I see. Well, my place.
Miss Barrett, Mr. McCabe says
I'm just about to take attendance.
he says it's important.
Later, Catherine. All right, class, if I mispronounce any of the new names, please correct me. Are Boozy Helen? Nope, that's wrong.
Miss Barrett,
Sir?
all I wanted to ask, could you use some of these posters? Blue on white, knowledge, power, yellow on green, truth and beauty?
I love some posters, Mr. McCabe.
Very good. Continue with your attendance.
Okay. Axelrod, Leon, Tim, he's always there.
You're lucky he's not here.
Well, he could use trouble.
Aaron's Charles.
You need to sign a book slip. Thank you.
Charles,
Hey,
wait.
save it. I'm dropping this later.
Aaron's Charles dropped out.
Marty, present, Mr. Barrett.
Joe Crone, present.
Who's this?
Here's what?
Book report.
Well, that's no way to hand it to me.
I ain't bad.
Well, we'll have to work on that.
On what?
Your aim.
I made it. I'm back. You Marty's behind me 9.5%. I teach.
Hi, Q.
I've had the last 6 weeks of my life with the 30 kids there and a really large check for the 3 people, which is drastically different than what we're used to. But we take our Saturday night stuff and this gives us a chance to honor our seniors and honor the 10 seniors that have been a part of this show throughout the time, so please bear with us a little bit. We're going to go through, have all the seniors familiar, so those of you that are up there, start wandering your way down so you're not jumping off the platform. You know how coordinated you all are. We've got some people in our show tonight that are seniors that have come in for the first time, which I think is really cool. And every senior that's ever done it will tell you that they should have done it sooner as far as being involved in the shows. We've got 3 seniors that are on stage for the first time tonight. Number 1 has the best high flat top in our school. That's Jacob Cartwright. You have some ideas in your mind a little bit about what we can do. I honestly have no idea what this show would have turned out to if this person didn't come and audition, because I thought you did a phenomenal job and has my utmost respect, and I think the utmost respect to the cast, and that's Austin Kim. We got her on stage her senior year, so it's awesome to do that. And that's Miss Kaylee Plumstrap. when I differentiate the play and musicals is a little different. But I do consider it a third. So on stage for the third time, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch this person grow, mature, and come to terms with a lot of stuff and get it. And it really set home about me. It's really nice to see that. Nice to be a part of it. Another one, 3 I believe, last week wasn't in her freshman year, and played the character I absolutely hated the most in the show, just with the line delivery and stuff like that, but played it to an absolute T. And as I read it back, she's like, oh, I can't stand this character, but she did a great job. I couldn't be more proud of her. That's Miss Madison Schumann. And played her role this spot onto a whole bunch of time and effort to get her to age her voice a little bit. I was wanting to really be able to change her voice. She did a great job with this, so I'll have her hand. Let's see. Whoa. I got 4 kids. Those are the kids that did it for me. Yeah, get it. These are the 4 kids that have been on stage for all 4 high school shows. And they're really supporting us this way. This kid I've been able to see go from a little tiny newsboy to our school heartthrob, and that's Mr. Ethan Brown. Also started out the same way as a newsboy 3 years ago, and today I read his bio, and I got enlightened a little bit. Evidently, I believe it's Salty Shelty in your bio. I believe that's me. So, anytime you want to take over this stuff, feel free. Mr. Alec Kalicki. Also coming on stage as a freshman, I believe the role was Sid Prince in Sherlock Holmes, which has been a little ninja thief. Ironically, she is sort of a ninja. And this interport show is Skelly Sanchez. Before I get to the last one, we are going to do some things. I want to make sure I get some other stuff out of the way. People that don't get a lot of credit, they're all standing up there in that weird booth back there. It's really nice because you guys don't know this, but while the show's going on, I'm doing nothing remotely concerned with the show. It is 100% student run at the time the lights go down. They do everything. Without them, it's a lot difficult. Also, another person that's been really integral in the success of the show is our second student director, who came on this year, has done a great job. And the way I think is like this, and the way they think is like this. So it's nice to have a good balance. And that's Mr. Jacob Bauer. The last one, maybe my water tonight, isn't a 4-for-4 kid. It's actually a 5-for-5, which is weird. She was on stage with us as a 6th grader. We did Miracle on 34th Street, and we needed a girl to play a role in that show of a daughter. So I don't know if it's just fate or somebody's like, hey, take this girl off our hands for a few nights. And we proceeded to learn just how much of a diva she could be in 6th grade. And it hasn't stopped to this day. She's been a student director for the last 2 years. It's going to continue in the spring, the winter with the musical as well. And it's been an independent project, independent study for her as well. So she's done a lot of blocking, planning, programs, tickets, all that stuff has been her class. So she's done a great job for us. It would be a vastly different experience without her. And that's Ms. Karen Carter. Usually I'll forget somebody with only 10, it's a little different. So February 4th, 5th, and 6th will be the musical, or 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's going to be 5 shows. And I think it's ironic, and Miss Janet's back there. She's going to be our vocal director again. She's back there. We're going to have a live pit again for the first time in 2 years. It's going to be conducted by our new band director, Ryan Miller. And it's really funny when we go from this cast of 30 to, we talked earlier today, I would expect the cast of a musical to be anywhere from 100 to 130. Yeah, that's the same thought I had. Where we're like, is this what you really want to do? We're going to partner up a little bit. We've already got things worked out with the high school and CWU. CWU has a wonderful CWU chorus in there, which is all the 4th, 5th graders. So we're going to try to incorporate some of them into our spring musical, or winter musical. The cast is going to be absolutely huge. We pick shows that we feel our kids can play well. So this time in February, on stage here in about 3 months' time, God bless it. Auditions are in 2.5 weeks, which is scary as well. We'll see you on stage for the largest show we've ever seen on stage. Justin, you can play real quick on that, so they know. He's here. We'll see you.